What's up, ladies and gentlemen? I'm your
What's up?
boy,
What's up?
Poetic.
This is your boy, Mr. M2J, on another episode of Latinos Unfiltered Podcast.
And today we have a
So,
special guest, one of my good friends, Robert Fishbeck. He's mad chill, good people. One of my former co-hosts from the Wandering Food Dudes, now the Wandering Food Dude with no S. So we're going to go ahead and bring him on. And here we have a fun day, drinking, relaxing. A lot of technical crazy difficulties, but let's go ahead and bring him in. Let's welcome him into this lobby. Here we go. There he is. I believe he is loading at this current moment. Hello, Mr. Fishbeck.
Hello, how's everybody doing?
Good,
hey,
good, good.
how you doing? Doing good.
It has been a fuckery of a day with this computer. First me, then him, and then now we're here.
The beauty of technology, I guess.
Yeah. Okay. So, first thing we're going to start off with is we'll start off with Fishbeck, our guest, and then we'll go with you, Martin, and then I'll go with me. I go last. How's your day today?
Not bad. Just been hanging out and get all my stuff prepped for school tomorrow. I start college trying to get a general business degree, and hanging out in the wonderful area of North Texas.
Very nice, very nice.
North Texas, that's nice. Is it hot right now over there?
It's been in the 80s or 90s every day, and the last week and a half, we've had hailstorms, we've had thunderstorms, flash floods, all sorts, sunny daylight. Like, it goes back and forth here. It's crazy.
Well, you just basically just had Jumanji running through the state.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, it's been kind of similar over here in Florida. It's just like it's about to rain, but maybe not. Then it'll be hot. Then we have like tornado watches. Yeah, it's just been crazy.
Been one of those days.
Yeah, I mean, it's been one of those weeks. I'm so glad that school is over on Thursday. I can take a well-deserved break.
Nice.
And probably move to bigger and better things.
Yeah, weather here hasn't been kind of great. It's been kind of... Really?
Sorry. My snail phone, you know what I'm saying? My snail phone.
Is One Piece played?
Yeah, that's my snail phone.
Oh my god. Holy shit. Okay. So...
Don't hate, you uncultured person.
Your stupid phone. It's been
we're all good.
Yeah, it's been raining here. It's been kind of crazy. Hold on.
I guess I cannot talk about the weather without looking at the phone.
No, I was making sure everything was good on here. Our mics as well as everyone's has been auto whack. But either way, we're good. So we have a few questions here. So before we go ahead and tell us a little about yourself. So as people do know, I already said this is my former Wandering Food Dudes co-host, but also one of my good friends. I've known this motherfucker for years. Dude can drink. I'm telling you now.
He can join the party. He can join the party.
Soju, let's go. I got my drink ready. Okay. So we're going to be drinking, having some fun, but we're going to start off with something a little crazy. I want to know his opinions. We kind of asked a few last night when we were fucking around in our party chat thing. So let's see what his opinion is, Mr. Martin. Since you want to think you're always right on this stuff, let's find out.
Okay.
Are you ready for this? So we're going to start with, let me see. Okay. You know, these are some fun would you rather ones. Would you rather have the ability to teleport anywhere you've been before, or be able to teleport to a random place in the world every day?
Well, I've done that a little bit too often in the military, so I would prefer to go back to places I know and enjoy.
Okay. He's like,
hey, teleporting. Where are we going? I don't know. We're just going to find out.
We're going to go out for a week or two, and then we'll be back. Don't bother asking where you've been.
That's crazy.
Okay. This is always a good question. Would you rather never have to sleep again or never have to eat again?
What was the second one?
Never have to sleep again or never have to eat again?
Uh, Seeing I only average 3 to 4 hours of sleep anyways, I would rather get rid of the sleep. I'd rather enjoy food. It
Yes.
brings a lot
I
of
agree. I agree
people.
100%.
Yeah, 100% agree.
I
100%.
mean, it's kind of like I don't know. It's kind of like a double edged sword because
Mm-hmm.
the whole sleep deprivation will get you beyond hangry and just annoyed at life. Maybe food can satiate that, and then calm down a little bit after you have real good food. But yeah, that's a toughie though.
Well,
I picked the sleep over the food, but yeah, it was gonna have some repercussions.
oh, for
Yeah.
sure. Well, then the idea is if they're giving you this power, it's taking care of the issues that you would have by not sleeping, like
That's what I would hope. I would hope.
health issues, the crankiness. All that generally is covered under when people say, "Would you like to have a superpower?" Right?
I would hope so because if
I
they
hope.
don't, I was like, hey, if they don't, I'm like, hey, that's not in the contract.
Trust but firm, right?
Facts.
Right?
Let's see here. I had a good one. What number was it? Okay. This one is for all our people who love our fantasy stuff and all this different things. So, would you rather be a wizard in a world of muggles or a muggle in a world of wizards?
So for me, that really depends on the magic system. There's a lot of different opportunities you can do. Assuming based off your comment, we're going off of Harry Potter magic.
Yeah.
That again depends greatly depending if you're reading the Harry Potter series, the Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them, or any of the fan fiction that comes up, right? But overall, having magic opens up more opportunities than trying to do a lot of cunning your way around people with powers, because you have to be so very careful about it.
Yeah.
Very
I
true.
mean, I said the same thing. Say I'd rather be a wizard in the world of muggles, but
It depends.
you'll be able to get away with a lot of stuff that other people can't because it's a world of everybody being just regular.
Exactly.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's why I feel like, because I mean, it would be fun to like. This is the thing. Life is already kind of depressing as it is. So like, if we could be a muggle but be transported into that world, that would be dope. But then, for how long would that be nice?
But look, see,
Or can
when
we traverse
by you saying you want to be a muggle in a world of wizards, you have to understand that you always going to be under constant manipulation because you as a muggle, your life basically just surrounds what the wizards actually wants you to see or not see.
But
They
that's
can change
but
your mind and
that
stuff.
though. You're assuming that they're going to be like, oh, evil. You might not. They might not know you're a muggle. You just don't show.
Here's the thing: take everything that minorities have to deal with now double the amount of power that the other people have.
Oh no,
Right?
I'd rather be a wizard in the world of a muggle, but it makes me think because like the world wise, like the aesthetics of like if I can travel back and forth, then okay, fine, I'm cool. But
there's actually a lot of fantasy books about just doing just that, especially
really,
of one of the first example that comes to my mind is I have a mansion in a post-apocalyptic world, and the whole story is the guy goes to this other world, gets a bunch of gold bars, and takes it back to the future. Use that gold bars to buy food for this post-apocalyptic world, and becomes rich in both worlds. Right? The opportunity is there if you know how to play it and get really, really lucky.
facts. Let me see here. Open. Okay, so let's try. Here's a last question before we dive into something else. We're gonna do. Okay. Would you rather have the ability to freeze time for 1 hour every day or rewind time by 1 minute whenever you want?
Hmm. That's a interesting one.
Right?
Is the freeze time, can that be used in increments,
Um,
or is it? It has to be used in one go.
let's go. We're gonna do
I
two
think
different scenarios.
yeah, came kind of like at the same type of like view of the question. Like, can I freeze time and increments of a
Yeah, we
time
think I'm
during
telling
the
you, this is
day
my
that
dude.
amounts to 1 hour, or is it just like
Oh
an
yeah,
hour set and it's like regardless of wherever you use it, if you use it at 5, it's gonna finish at 6. Regardless, like you can eat like 5 to 5:05.
yeah.
I freeze the time, and then 5:45 to 6. You know, it's like
Oh
another
yeah. So
time.
here, let's start with the first one. Only 1 hour. You have to do it 1 hour straight up. So
Just 1 minute at a time. There's a lot more potential options that you have to do a great many things, and to reverse a lot of mistakes. You say something, oh, that was not the reaction you wanted. Go back. Uh, oh, I want to bet on 47. 47 didn't win. What about 23? Okay, I'm clearly getting too much excitement here. I'm leaving.
But wait, I think there's I don't know, there's a little conundrum at that point because let's put it this way: you have to go through the process. Let's put it like on simple terms. Like you're gonna go bet. You
Yeah,
know, you gotta bet before the game is over.
right.
Literally, the game is over, and all you can go back is 1 minute before.
Uh,
I don't think 60 seconds is gonna give you enough time to actually like overcome the challenge of whatever decision you had made before that.
How long is a roulette wheel? It's usually about 15 to 20 seconds. So it kind of really just depends on what kind of things you're up to.
Mhm.
For gambling, most games will take longer than a minute, but the little shell game will take about a minute, 30 seconds. Roulette wheel is about 45 seconds. From the time the betting closes to the time that you get told what the number is. Um,
I'm not
for
the only one. You see, even him, bro. If
like,
you have that kind of time, you're using it to your advantage. This motherfucker here is like, I would like save the world.
No, I'm not.
one
No,
minute,
I'm not. Yo, you are such a liar.
minute is an infinite amount of time, almost an infinite amount of time when in high stress actions. Just for example, firefighters. Oh, the building's coming down. Okay, well, in a minute, I can scout and go back to my spot until I find where, as far as I can find in that 1 minute time.
Yeah, but I think that's on the constructs of extreme like pressure or situations like
Oh,
that. It's like somebody being calm on an accident. You know, there are some people that they can't handle some stuff like some stressful situations, and basically a minute is completely wasted.
oh, for
As
sure,
of
for
to
sure.
somebody that like let's put it this way: you as a military soldier, and me as a bus driver. Me as a bus driver, I have to make sure that if something were to happen, I gotta keep my mind and everything so cool, calm, collected because I got kids in the bus. So I gotta assess all kind of situations that go around the bus in a stressful situation in case something were to happen to the bus, and I can react, call dispatch to get everybody else. Yeah, but what I'm getting at with the whole thing about a minute is that this Mister right here would literally use either or to actually go rob a bank and call that is okay because I got powers.
First of all, I wouldn't rob the bank. I'd rob from the rich and give to the poor, aka me.
So it's less of the problem is just kind of to use the great saying of with great powers comes great responsibility. The Once somebody has a strong capability over the average, regardless of whatever it is, but whether it's martial arts, number counting, or whatever, the amount of times the likelihood of that person not doing something great with it, because once you have the skill, you're more likely to run into circles where those skills are needed.
Mm.
Right? So it doesn't really matter if you're doing it for top tier things or trying to use it for daily life, eventually you will get dragged into a situation in which the extremes happen, right?
Yeah.
Like, just
And
using
why go
my
through life broke?
This guy right here.
Well, I would try the good
See,
way,
like
try the
I don't,
gambling way,
yeah,
go back
right,
into
yeah, right.
gambling is free. It's I can go spend money, but I
See,
can
but
pop the
this is the thing
wheel,
about it. Like,
gambling.
I don't, like I said, I don't have anything against enriching yourself, but to do it in a way where there's no really repercussions going to come back to you. Because I mean, things that I think is going to be so completely unbalanced. So let's say that you're able to freeze for a whole hour, and you go and do your whatever, and then next thing you know, within an hour, this dude already have like $50 billion under his account. You think that that's gonna, like, bro? You was broke literally an hour ago. Where that came from? You ain't gonna have no explanation.
You get cash, and then you wait for another hour, get a safe.
Being said, you're right on that it would raise a lot of flags. But there's a lot of technology in which you can do, which makes it generally not worth their effort, as long as you keep it below a certain number
Yeah, you know
threshold.
what I'm saying? Gotta
And
think
so you
about it.
below that number threshold each time you do it. Anyways,
I'm calling the
Yeah,
feds.
you know what I'm
I'm
saying?
calling the feds.
I was about to say,
I feel like I'm in an episode of Takers.
there's alternatives you can do with it, right? Like, pause time for an hour, and then do that super risky surgery, right? There's so many options that you can do depending on which route you go with it, great and small, right?
Yeah.
At the end of the day, the wand chooses the wizard. What you do with it is on you.
Exactly. That's the whole point. That the outcome of whatever the situation. And I mean, it sounds like a simple question, but I mean, it is so much deeper, because when it comes down to the concept of time and what you can accomplish with it, is just like, it's so deep.
Right.
Because time is of the essence, kind of thing. So what are you going to do with that free time that was granted to you to use at any given time for 1 hour a day, or just to take time back for 1 minute at a time?
But it's not free. So one of the big things that they generally overlook is, okay, if you freeze time for an hour a day, generally it doesn't look like it's catching up to you. But every day you're living 25 hours a day. You age super quick in comparison to most people, right? Because that extra hour will add up over a period of years.
True, but I mean, that's not something that you're going to use on every single day, though.
Right. It all depends on how you abuse it or
Yeah.
enjoy the system. But these questions mostly have a great impact on how does the person think and where are their value systems.
Yeah.
This is what you learn when you ask people these outlandish questions. Whether that's men talking about, oh, what would you do on the survival situation, or women going, well, would you pick the bear or the man? Right?
Yeah,
like,
something as trivial as that, and they become this.
About it.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll get to that in a minute, because I'm curious about your opinion on that. But so here's a good question. Here's our last would you rather. Would you rather have the ability to fly but only at walking speed, or run as fast as a car but only for 10 seconds at a time?
Flying at walking speed. Because I'm assuming that we're talking about a car starting from zero to build up the speed. So even the highest sports car can only get so far in that 10 seconds. Any faster than that, your body would not deal with the force as well. Right?
Yeah.
Like, there's limitations on everything. And that's why...
Well, we're assuming if you have power, though, that your body's able to handle it.
Well, no, I bring that up because, and I was about to say, when you pick super strength as a power, usually invulnerability or toughness to go with it, so you don't just tear yourself apart as you go to lift something.
Yeah.
Yeah, and at the same time, what kind of car are we talking about? Because not all cars go as fast.
True. That's
right.
true.
Like, those things can differ greatly. Now, again, with the walking speed, like
Yeah.
my youngest
I
brother.
mean, even though everybody has a different walking speed, but I mean, it is not generally so far like apart from person to person type of thing.
Yeah.
Well, so like, because I'm crippled now, I walk about 3 miles an hour. When I was ahead of my fitness, I walked about 4.5, 5 miles an hour. My youngest brother walks about 6 miles an hour. So that, in the grand scheme of things, that's not a lot, but when you're talking about needing to get across something, that adds up quite a bit.
Oh yeah.
Facts.
I mean, you got to take the tire factor out of it because you're flying. So
Right.
Yeah.
And there's just the whole cool factor of, okay, well, I'm just going to meander my way over here across this gorgeous...
right.
Oh, yeah. Facts. And here's another thing. When you're flying, let's say you get tired, can you continue flying and sleep?
I mean, flying in what way? I mean, am I just like levitating from the pool of gravity or from the earth?
Yeah.
Or I actually gotta fly like a bird, and I just be like, and then I'm gonna get tired because if I'm just
assuming
like
fly like Superman.
Okay, then, bro, I can fly all day, every day, 24 hours, 24/7.
But
you know what I'm saying? It's not like he got tired of flying.
You shut your eyes, though.
What?
There's goggles.
You know what I'm saying? Like, if you decide...
We are on walking speed, sir.
Well, that's what I'm saying. You're going at walking speed, but if the minute you close your eyes, will you continue flying, or will you all of a sudden fall?
Why would I fall?
So
you're not awake, so you're constantly not able to fly, technically.
I mean, I'm gonna go down before I go to sleep. What kind of? I'm gonna sleep fly.
Well, I'm saying, like, if you can only, because I think
sound like C. You start to sound like C now.
No. If you would rather be
sleep fly
but at walking speed, right? So if you're flying at walking speed,
mm-hmm.
right, it's gonna take you a while. Like, let's say I wanted to go to like Hawaii. That's a plane goes at however much fast it goes,
of
so it gets 50 hours. So if we're going at that slow rate, the question I have is, like, if I want to, like, you know what, I want to keep going there because it's going to take me, let's say flying at my speed, it would take me 80 hours, right? Just for example. If it took me 80 hours, then I know, okay, I just keep flying nonstop until I get there. But if I have to sleep, because obviously I'm going to get tired, will I be able to continue flying until, I bump into something? Or will
I guess that's a question for another episode. I mean, push comes to shove, just get two Red Bulls, bro. You give you wings. You're already flying.
So if we're talking walking an average of 4 miles an hour to get from Seattle to Honolulu, it will take you 27 days and almost 28 days to get from Seattle.
Be ready for a month-long trip just to be on water.
But here's the thing though. It does say, you said it 27 days, but
27 days, 0.89. So,
but that's assuming at walking speed that, like, you can only take intervals. If you're flying, you're not going to get tired, so you're just going straight. So I feel like it would be less.
At that point, it's easier to take a plane and drive most places, right? Like,
yeah,
it's if your power is that, you're looking at, okay, I'm going from building to building.
Yeah, so that would make you a local. That would make you a local superhero, like, on all the sense of the way. Because it's like, oh, there's a meteor going to hit New York. You ain't making it. You ain't making it.
What they call a street level hero.
Yeah.
You better than that.
Yeah, they make you the back alley hero type of thing. You know what I'm saying?
Like there's a fire, so you can run it, you can fly in, get the person, get them out, and that's it.
And even then, I kind of doubt it because you're not running; you are walking speed, sir.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Okay, so here's a good question, since we're all doing some type of controlled substance that's legal within our boundaries and states. What kind of drinks are everybody drinking? What's everyone?
I'm drinking air.
Drinking air. Oh, that's depressing.
Man, I got this much left, and I'm debating. Like, I don't really want to drink it all. Like, it's getting to the sad area, bro. Like, I don't want to let you go.
Tell him how that rum is, bro.
Oh, extremely delicious. The notes of the woody notes and the caramel notes. It just goes smooth. It's warm, bro. It's delicious. It's delicious.
the Panamanian rum, it is really good. It's an aged like 12 years in one barrel, and then they move it to like another one in France, and they age it there for a few years, bro. It is so smooth. It is insane how smooth it is.
And when you mix it with that Dr Pepper, either the what's just the cream soda or the coconut cream, it just adds a different element to it.
Yeah,
That kind of like aids to the caramel, like woody taste to it. It's just so like I wouldn't take it with nothing else. It's a good chaser for that type of drink.
Yeah.
you can. The thing is, like, it's a good sipping drink, but it's also a good mixing drink. Ooh, Jim Beam.
Oh, sir,
Very nice.
let's go. He's
Very
talking
nice.
my language.
There you go.
So Red Stag is the poison of choice for today. But yeah, rum and vodka are my general commercial go-tos.
Yes.
But soju, makgeolli,
Soju.
all sorts of stuff from Asia to Europe. I drink a little bit.
Okay, now my question to you, since I'm an anti-vodka protester.
Okay.
What do you see in vodka that calls your attention so much when that drink is beyond dangerous?
Wait.
Because of the fact that it can because between vodka and tequila, those drinks can go so beyond smooth. They basically tasteless at some point in time if you get the right type of one.
Okay.
So you're correct. So vodka is generally fairly cheap for the most part, right? Like usually you're looking at $20 to $30 compared to the usual whiskey of $40 to $50.
Yeah.
So it's the cheapness factor. Partially is I can't drink brown liquor as a shot, right? Like it causes my stomach to hurt unless I add a chaser to it.
I'm a witness to that.
So clear liquors is generally what I drink, especially when I'm trying to cut back on the sugars by not adding soda. That's part of the reason why soju in particular is one of my favorites. Because I can get straight without
This motherfucker got me on soju, and bro, I'm a sojuaholic, bro.
Soju is delicious. I picked it up when I was in Korea.
It's
over there,
delicious.
it's like $2 a bottle. Here it's like 10 or 12,
It's
depending on the area.
ridiculous.
That's crazy.
Oh yeah, it's night and day different. But so I tend to like sweet drinks. So either the alcohol itself is sweet or the mixer I'm putting into it is sweet. Because I drink by like the half gallon to a gallon.
Yeah, bro. I'm gonna tell you right now, Martin. Me and this dude, we've had to where we used to work at our old job. We used to go out with some coworkers sometimes, and we would be the only two left, still drinking, relaxing, not even drunk, just chilling, playing pool, and people would be there sloshed out of their mind. This dude can drink. This is my drinking partner. I'm telling you, when the three of us meet up, this dude can drink, bro. We drink and eat, drink, eat, drink, eat, and this
that's a perfect combination right there.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
That's actually how I used to make my drinking money in the Army. Is I would challenge entire fire teams to drink with me, and I would take a drink for every one drink that they took. So I would drink 4 people under the table at one time, and that would be my night's activity.
Remember, y'all, drink responsibly.
Right. Beverages go together. Make sure to hydrate afterwards, guys. Very important.
Yeah. Don't drink and drive. Only when it's a red light.
Right.
You are technically not driving.
Usually I would drink at the barracks, right? Like we would all be in the barracks already tuckered in for the night, and we'd be sitting around in a chair circle drinking. And whoever lost would pay for the night's drinks.
Oh.
Yeah. That's nice. Yeah. That's nice.
So, not for the one I gotta pay.
Okay. So let's get into some fun stuff. Here's a good question. So we're gonna talk about a little bit of dating stuff. So, and this is for all of us. So we'll go Robert and then you and then me. Have I really had? Yeah, I have. What has been your experience with interracial dating, and how do you navigate cultural differences in relationships?
Now I'm gonna put the first point. What do you refer as dating, sir?
Let's go with what we know from us growing up: proper dating,
Actual dating?
actual dating. Let's go with actual dating.
Okay. I have, but this is the thing about it. With me, it's kind of crazy because I'm already multiracial. So by that standard, it
Think
don't
of
matter
it
who
as-
the hell I date.
Well, yeah, but think of it as like you're basic of what you know you are. So we know you're Panamanian, I'm Puerto Rican, he's German American. So let's go according to those. As if like let's not go by the DNA technically.
Not just saying so much as about DNA because you can see it in my family. I'm one
Well,
of the
yeah.
light skins. Like I'm one of the light skins, and you got part of my family that is completely dark
Like you
skinned.
identify as Panamanian. So let's go with
But they
Panamanian.
are Panamanian. That's the sad part about it because of the location. Like you saw it in the video that you was watching the other day for the Anthony Bordeaux. That the whole thing about Panama is that it's so much like culture mixing in there is really hard to define. Like, what do I identify as? You know, on 2024, everybody got to identify as something.
So
What?
let's put it up this way then. What is it like dating outside of a culture group? So like,
Okay, nah,
There you
that
go.
yeah, okay,
Like that. That's
like,
basically
probably
what
in
yeah.
your way
yeah,
of-
that's a good spin off to it.
right.
I mean, it coming over here. I mean, point blank, period, is being completely culture shock type of thing, because coming from Panama, where I dated and as a teenager and as a young adult, and then coming over here to the United States as a young adult to a mature adult, the comparisons are like night and day type of thing. It is the whole culture of dating in Hispanic countries like Panama, where females usually have the tendency of being a lot more
Loving.
like not so much like to say loving, but it's more like welcoming. If anything, you're saying like there's not so much constrictions about like how much money you make. Do you drive a Bentley? You know, it's not as materialistic as I came to find out here in the United States, where not saying that every single woman, but for the most part, there seems to be a large amount of females that happens just to concentrate on what do you bring to their pocket or to improve their lifestyle versus like what do they offer to you, because honestly what they want to offer is their body parts, and if we go by that, we got plenty of women that have the same body parts. Like there's like the context of their outlook in life and their behavior towards the opposite gender, even though nowadays it's kind of they kind of like emulating the United States when it comes down to dating, and a lot of Hispanic cultures is actually like becoming the same thing outside of it, and it's just kind of terrifying because it's like if y'all lose man, I promise you y'all not gonna like the outcome of that stuff.
Yeah.
So that kind of falls along with what I've been experiencing and what I tried to explain to my sisters. Right, I'm the second son out of 6 kids, 4 boys, 2 girls.
Yeah.
And so I've tried to explain to my sisters the absolute frustration that is trying to date in modern America. Of just one example, I went up to this lady at the bar. I said, "Hi, hello, my name is," and that's as far as I got before I started getting sworn at. And you're the ugly guy, and you how dare you approach a queen like me? And I'm like,
Whoa.
okay, I'll just say hello.
Whoa.
That was a no. And I
Yo.
to my sister, there was immediate justifications for it. That she must have been having a bad
From your sister.
from my sister.
That is the epitome of like
Hold on, it gets worse. It gets worse. As I'm explaining this, I'm like, I'm really frustrated because I've been accused of sexual harassment. I've been accused of sexual assault without ever having touched a woman. I've been accused of rape. I had to prove my innocence because I was guilty before the law even got involved. Right? Because
even though you're supposed to be innocent until proven guilty. You have to be proven guilty But when it comes down to this nonsense, it's the opposite. So okay.
Right. And so I was trying to explain this to my sister and to my aunts, and I'm like, so it's really difficult for modern guys who aren't the top of the top, right?
Yeah, the 1%ers.
And so I was like, quite frankly, I've had better success overseas when I was in the Middle East, when I was in Asia. So I'm not likely to date an American woman. And both of my sister's responses was, if you are anyone other than my brother, we would disown you. I would never deal with you again.
Oh,
Yeah.
that is rude beyond belief, especially coming from your own family.
Right.
That you will be disowned from your own kin because you decided to date outside of the toxic culture of the United States.
It's less about because I decided to date outside of, and more because I had this negative stereotype towards American women. It's according to what God explained to me.
Yep.
And I even told him, like, hey, look, I understand it's not all American women, but when it's supposed to be this small number of false accusations and reporting, but on top of my head, I know 8 guys who went to prison over it, or almost went to prison over it. So if one guy alone knows 8 different people, that tells me the numbers are a lot higher than they're trying to project.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So there's that, right? And the other part is, where do you go to find people nowadays, right? Because bars are only going to be the places where you get the worst kind of people. The people who ask you first 2 questions is, what's your money like? And 2, grab you by the junk, right? And that's happened to me on 3 different occasions, right? And so it's just like, whoa, okay, why is it okay for women to do that, but you tell us not to do it, guys to do it?
You just opened Pandora's box. I don't know if I'm gonna. This episode is probably gonna spin for another 12 hours because the amount of nonsense that I see on a daily basis, bro, it has me borderline, like, and I don't want to use the word hate, but it has me at a very, like, low view of women in general. You know what I'm saying? And I was raised by a single mom, and I love women. Don't get me wrong. But the crap that they're putting on men now to try to, like, belittle you and to try to make your worth, like, pennies on the dollar, if anything, is beyond like, I don't recognize that. Like, you want to sit down here, you want to call a man a misogynist, yet you don't know the actual definition of the word misogynist.
Right.
You guys created this whole LGBTQ plus situation with all this gender situation going on. Now, the same people that you encourage to become bold about their gender dysphoria is the same people that are trying to take your place as a woman and calling themselves women and calling you a cis woman. Now you mad because they calling you that, but you created that whole scenario. And now we, the man that try to protect you, the original woman, from becoming a victim of this nonsense that y'all created, then we become the misogynists.
Right. So here's just one attempt I had at dating, right? This was while I was still in the military. There was a young lady that I was interested in. I invited her out to go eat, and then we're going to go see Wreck-It Ralph. To tell you how long ago that was.
Wow.
Yeah. Wreck-It Ralph.
Right, the first one. So we had a good dinner. We were enjoying hanging out. And without even thinking about it, I went to pay. Because all my buddies, we swapped back and forth of whom paid. Right? Like, so without even thinking about it, I went to pay.
Yeah.
It was my turn. And I get, don't you dare pay for me. And the entire restaurant turns around and looks at me and stares. And she's like, you better not pay for me, da-da-da-da-da, I can pay for myself. I was like, whoa, hold on there. I don't know what's going on here. And the waitress had to intervene on my behalf. Hey, honey, you should just let him pay. Like, it's not a big deal. It's like $30 worth of food here. Okay, well, but then you need to let me pay for the movies. Like, okay, that's fine. Like, I didn't think anything of it. I wasn't expecting anything of it. just it was my turn to pay for food, like soldiers.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Like, um, and so there's been all these horrible negative experiences, and admittedly, it's on both sides, right? Like, I'm talking about my personal experiences, but I see that I've talked to enough women folk that it's not easy on their staff too, which you
Yeah.
have to take into account, right? But like, all the things you were raised to be a gentleman, to keep the door open, to pay for a meal, to do this, is belittled, but then also expected, right? Like, okay, I have Asperger's. I am not good with people. I literally learned how to interact with people through acting at a haunted house and reading Army and CIA interrogation handbooks. Like,
Correct.
that's my social interactions. Um, where's the thing? I would like to like,
that's correct.
as I explained to my sister just this last weekend before this, like, yeah, I'm not expecting anything, but I would, if I'm doing all the quote unquote nice guy stuff, I would at least like to be able to put my foot in the door to show that I'm not a monster. But because I'm expecting to even have that much courtesy, I'm not actually a nice guy.
Yeah.
So by trying to be that's the crazy part. Like by trying to be the nice guy, you become this persona that they hate because they say that now you're acting.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's like, so essentially the way it works is I have to do everything you want, and I'm never allowed to defend myself. I'm never allowed to
Yeah,
be
I'm always the aggressor.
right. I'm always the monster. And if I try to defend myself, just to use the bear technique, or if you're upset about like us saying that all guys are rapists, then you're sorry, wrong
You're
word.
good. You're good. Don't worry about it.
All guys are monsters, but you're upset about you're not allowed to defend yourself because that makes you one of them. It's like, okay, what do you do? You can't defend yourself, but no matter how well intentioned you are, if someone tells you you're this terrible thing,
Yeah.
eventually you're going to go, okay, well, I'm this terrible thing. I'm going to
Yeah, exactly. And that's the notion that a lot of women actually use nowadays. Is just like, oh, like guys make women like this. No, we didn't. Y'all did that to yourself. Let's be 100% honest about that.
Mm-hmm.
We try to protect the stuff, and we, real men, hold men that is not up to standards accountable for their actions.
Yep.
Right.
Okay. We're not little boys that have like, oh yeah, my homie. No, because I'm telling you, if my best friend were to do something that is not legal and he's gonna put in jeopardy other people's life, I'd rather stop him myself as a friend than let him run rampant and just create a worse reputation for all us men. You see what I'm saying?
I had a good buddy of mine. We got really drunk at a haunted house party. And he was talking to this young lady, and he wasn't doing too much horrible things. He was just kind of like poking at her.
Mm-hmm.
She was, just barely 22 or so. And I was like, hey, look, the lady already told you no. And I literally had to get up in his face and like shove him away from it. And like to this day, this guy thanks me that I was willing to tell him no. Right? Like, and trying to explain to women that like even the guys who go when drinking go further than they should appreciate it once they're sober that someone else stopped them.
Yeah. And as a friend, I would appreciate that you did that too, because so it actually shows that you're a friend that is willing to stop or get in between the right and the wrong. Say like if you get right in the trenches in between the right and wrong, and are able to say, hey, either you cut it or you're gonna suffer the consequences.
Right.
Because I wouldn't have a problem throwing down hands with like Enrique or some of my other friends, that I hold value, because I'm like, I'd rather hurt you than you hurt yourself and hurt others.
Yep. Facts. So going on that, I had a friend. I'm gonna tell you this story, and I want to know you guys' opinions. So I've noticed that a lot of women nowadays, as we're talking about women, talking about dating in the world and whatnot. So I had a friend, an ex-friend, I'm considering her ex because she just acted stupid. I don't have time for that shit. Y'all know me. So she wrote a post about she said something along the lines of only the men who go overseas to find a girl only go over there because they know that women here in the US are not going to pull up with their BS, and it's easier to get a woman from overseas because she'll put up with his BS because of a green card and or she'll just be a prostitute. And I ended up spitting facts. I put actual legitimate facts on her thing. I'm like, actually, you're wrong. Men go over there because men are sick of dating women who only want men for money and for this, and all this stuff. And she's like, well, she's like, what's wrong with having standards? There's nothing wrong. Now, this is a white girl who she's very beautiful, very voluptuous in the areas that guys like.
Okay, before you continue with your story, what standards are we talking about? Because the standards of the U.S. women and the standards of the women of the world is different.
Well, this is why. So, yeah. So right here, well, one of them, she was saying, like, she was like, well, there's nothing wrong with a woman wanting a guy who not only looks good, but who is willing to pay for this. And the basic things that a lot of U.S. women are saying. Now, here's the thing.
Yeah.
I'm like, so you want a guy to do this, and this, and he needs to have a degree, have a house, a car, make this much. She's like, of course, there's nothing wrong with that. But because guys here don't want to, they don't want, they can't handle a real woman like that. That's why they go overseas to women who don't have that stuff because they know they'll take them, for a green card because they have money. I'm like, okay, so explain this. You want a man who has all this, but why would a man who has this go after a female who doesn't have any of that?
Thank you.
And her mouth got shut to the point that, you know what she did? She blocked me. But before she blocked me, she said, she ended up messaging me real quick. And actually, give me 1 second here.
He's screenshotting. Gotta keep receipts.
Right.
She put, I don't think I have it here. Okay, well, either way, she said along the lines of, she's like, because I put so many facts there. She said, no, men only go for there, and then I put facts of what percentage of men go over there, what they are, blah blah blah. And she messaged me. She's like, stop posting on my page. You're embarrassing me, saying all this stuff. It's not true. Whatever. You know what? You believe what you want, and then blocks me. Here's the thing. I asked a bunch of women out of curiosity. I made a little poll and I sent it to a bunch of women, and American women. And the crazy thing is, there was only like one in, like, I think it was like 30. A few in 30 that were like, no, I agree, blah, 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 blah. Like a few, not one. There's a few of them. But this is the thing I find funny is like, oh, you're only going over there because these women don't have a great life and they only want a green card, or they're either, if not that, they're prostitutes. But here's the funny thing that it baffles me. And I can see why you date out, why you're not dating American women, Fish, and for the rest of us, is because, mind you, not all women are like that. We understand that. But especially nowadays, here's the thing. If I live in Germany, South America, anywhere in the world that's not the U.S., why is it? And I've asked a few of them this, and they couldn't answer the minute I asked them this. I'm like, so they're all either just want a green card or prostitutes, and they're like, yeah. It's like, so you realize the U.S. is not even the most educated in the world, and even then, just because they don't live in the U.S. doesn't mean they don't have an education. It doesn't mean they don't have a good life.
Yeah, and that's the thing about it.
It's not just women in the U.S. that have a job or a career. Women, how do you think these countries are developed? Because they have women who work also. So you're just saying basically that they're only prostitutes or want a green card. But half these women in other countries have more degrees than people here.
Exactly, but this is the thing about it. This is in my perception. This is the key difference between American. I'm not going to say American women, but United States women, because if we talk about America, we talk about North, South, and Central America. But women of the United States have this notion that power equals masculinity. So they try to draw on that masculine energy. And all you do with that is create problems. Now, we have intelligent and powerful women outside the United States that know equal, if not more, than the United States women, but they stand on their femininity.
So,
see,
funny add-on story to that, and that was a problem I had significantly while in the army. Is that the women who are like, I need to be as tough as the guys and strong as the guys, would only prove it by taking the worst aspect of being a man, swearing, spitting dip onto the floor, being crude, and all these things. Like, no. you prove you're as strong as me by working the entire time I'm working, by making sure you don't get randomly prego during deployment, right? So you have to leave or being pregnant right before deployment.
Exactly.
You prove by loyalty and dedication, not by how strong you can live, by how much you can punch, but by being there.
Yeah.
And so it's always interesting to me that the power dynamic is viewed as the worst aspects of what it means to be strong.
Yeah, it's like a primeval masculine type of thing. Like, yo, we gotta go hunt, fight for my little cave, type of thing. When masculinity is a lot more and more is it has developed and it has evolved so much more than that because somebody was saying on one of the videos, I don't remember the name of the guy, that he was saying that nature kills more than any man could kill or any female could kill. And men created infrastructure to keep women away from nature to protect them.
Mm-hmm.
And when he said that, he's just like, yo, that makes so much sense. But yet they want to sit down nowadays, for the most part, women want to sit down and say, oh, let's get rid of men because the world is going to be so much better without that. But most of the jobs that require part of the infrastructure are run by men. 90% of them.
Right. So you talk about, oh, we should put women in STEM jobs. We should put women as CEOs. Okay, well, we should have more women doctors and surgeons and all this stuff. It's like, well, okay, so you're talking about the smallest percentiles of high-paid earners that we should just shove you into.
Exactly. Where's all your blue-collar ones?
But there's plenty of good high-paying jobs. Just a garbage man, right? Like, I work long hours, so the average hours of a garbage man is about 10 to 12. But they make $65,000 to $80,000 a year in communities that are like the average is 40 to 50. So they're making good money for their areas for relatively untrained labor. So you can get in with just a high school degree.
Mm-hmm.
But you have to put in some hard labor and get dirty.
Yeah. I mean, now that you mentioned that, how many times have you seen women trash truck driver?
Right. Here's a job that you don't need a whole lot of strength, relatively speaking. You need to be able to lift some boxes over your head, which is why I don't become a truck driver, because my arm doesn't lift up anymore. But here's a relatively gender-neutral potential job. All you have to do is just be away from home for weeks and months at a time. Oh, you don't want this? You don't want the isolation? You don't want the hardship? But here's this job that you can make easy $100,000 to $200,000 a year if you're willing to do the long distance trucking and do the
yeah.
Well, why aren't you trying to break down those doors? Why are you only looking for the status and easy jobs?
Yeah, the secretarial job, so the inside the nice little AC office, and all that kind of stuff. Like it's crazy. It's just beyond crazy. Like they want equality, but themselves, like, okay, they want to be equal. They want to be equal, but pay attention to this. Why they don't look for the jobs that create equality? Let's be serious. If they want to be equal, they have the opportunity. The jobs are there.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? But they don't pick them.
If the wage gap was true, corporations would be hiring them left and right.
Mm-hmm.
Right? If I can get away paying you less, that's all that the corporations care about. And so it's not about equality anymore. It's about how can I become more special. And this is the same thing with the feminists, the same thing with the alphabet soup communities, whichever the latest flavor it is. How can I feel at the not just how can I feel special, but how can I feel special at the expense of whoever currently holds power?
Yeah. He said alphabet soup.
Well, I mean, like.
I mean, they got names, bro. They got names to go around.
Right,
they got names to go around.
I love that fucking name.
I just can't remember how often it changes.
I fucking love that, bro.
Exactly. It's like every other week they have a new gender and a new identity, and It's kind of crazy because
I
now
fucking love that.
things that we used to do as kids, like, hey, I wanted to be a Thundercat,
Right.
or I wanted to be, something like that, like, I wanted to be one of those
Oh.
fictional characters, and they used to tell you stop being silly. Now it's celebrated because now somebody want to be a wolf and they can become a furry, and now they are, by all intents, a wolf.
Right.
Really?
Okay. So
And it's just it's so difficult because there's such a hatred between the genders, and for years it was men, leave us alone, leave us alone. Okay, fine. So then MGTOW, are you familiar with that? Men going their own way.
Mm-hmm.
Started up, and then women are going, okay, where's all the guys? Why aren't you dating us? Why aren't you pursuing? Well, you told us no.
Exactly.
Well, no means yes. Sometimes it's like I'm not risking that.
No.
Super big trouble when I was in the army after coming back from a bad deployment from Afghanistan because I went to the gym with my buddy. And anytime he was lifting weights, I would stand in front of the machine and turn my back to him and watch the room in front of us. And there happened to be a woman who was fairly well stacked, and so she was physically moving the most. And so I would watch her, and like the guy tried to find out who my chain of command was and get me in all sorts of troubles. Like, hey, look, guy, like, I'm sorry that your girl feels uncomfortable, and so I'm watching her. She's one of 3 people in the room, you two being together, and the other one's on the far side of the room away from me. So the other time at Costco, even I almost got rode up because I was standing up from my desk and looking straight ahead, and that made a woman feel uncomfortable. So that was harassment. I was like, I'm literally just standing up and looking straight ahead. Like, how is this harassment? Like, I'm not doing anything. I'm not interacting with them, but it's
you,
nothing safe.
you looked at them sexually inside their minds. Is whatever their imagination flies into.
My eyes, they are very scary, apparently.
So that's beautiful on that. So our next episode, I have something because I forgot this is specific when you mentioned the alphabet thing. So I'm gonna go ahead and talk about that. But before we go, we're gonna go ahead and do this. Am I the asshole on Reddit? So this one is: Am I the asshole for speaking Italian to my girlfriend's rude Italian American family and embarrassing them? That's the title. Here's the story. ETA. There are many. Oh, there may have been some confusion as to my girlfriend's reaction. She was ashamed her family dug so deep into me, not about my response. After wanting to die for the next 48 hours, she agreed and I did the right thing and that it was funny. Backstory. Due to my dad's job, we lived in Italy for 3 years when I was younger. So I speak Italian almost fluently. And in parentheses, he put, it's been a while, so I've lost some of it. Recently, I started dating a girl. She's great and I loved her so much. I met her family a few nights ago for dinner. She warned me that the male side of her family is very big into being macho, into testing the boys the women date, and are very big on taking pride in their Italian ancestry. I think, besides the grandfather, however, they were almost all born in Bergen County, New Jersey. But whatever, it's nice to take pride in one's heritage. Long story short, at dinner, they kept making jokes at my expense. I honestly would not call it bullying, just things about my height, beard, shaved head. They tried making fun of my IT job too, but stopped once I told them my income. It was, that's fucked. It was overall not a bad experience, but a not so pleasant one. Anyways, her older brother kept pushing things, giving me exceptional amounts of shit for playing lacrosse in high school. In parentheses, apparently it's a sport for prissy rich kids and not manly like football or baseball. He ended his rant by saying, hey, we're just a big Italian family. We're loud and tell it how we see it. Ha 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 ha. And all the family except my girlfriend laughed. So I, for the next minute, responded to everything they said in Italian. My girlfriend buried her head in shame. The grandfather laughed, and everyone else kept looking at each other confused before telling me they didn't speak Italian. I replied,
Oh wow!
yeah. I replied, then don't use your Italian heritage as an excuse to behave poorly when you can't even speak the language. They got mad, but the grandfather told them all I was right and to be quiet. My girlfriend isn't mad, just ashamed. I think the grandfather likes me, but word from my girlfriend's sister is that all the men are furious. Think I'm a smartass and that I disrespected them and their masculinity,
Their
linity
frail egos.
in an unforgivable way. So am I the asshole?
No,
No.
but he a great jokester though.
You know what I'm saying?
So, as a German heritage American, right? Like my American heritage goes back shortly after the war. World War One, so 1917 is when my branch of the Fishbeck family came over to the Americans, the U.S.
Yeah.
And my family can be traced another 1,000 years back past that. So it's fairly old, but I only speak like kindergarten level German. Like I can read some basic kindergarten books, and that's about it. But there's so much about the pride of being German, pride of being that long history that goes into my family. But that being said, like you should be looking at the best aspects of it, like the stoicism, the strength, the sense of community that comes. For example, just to use the Italian bit, family and dedication to it, right? That's the whole strength of the Italian family, not the I'm going to make fun of you and be right. Like, and that's a big part of any community is how do I take my pride, my heritage, and who I came from, and use it right, right? Like, not let it be the way it's done. And there's no good answer for that. But no, the guy is not the asshole, especially when he knows more about the Italian culture than they do, clearly.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of sad on their part, but the part that I love the most about the whole story is about the grandfather because now we're talking about a purebred Italian just looking at them. You know what I'm saying? He's looking at y'all, and I can assume that he always had something to say about these kids because they're just embarrassing to his actual like root history that he probably tried to pass down, but because they grew up in the United States, hey, Mancodini, they try to do the whole mobster Italian type of nonsense, and then they get put down by a short 5-something guy with no hair on the top of his head and a beard, but makes probably triple the money that they make because it works on IT. But now the cherry on top is that you got disrespected because you're not even to the decency to dig into your own roots and learn the native language of your ancestors. Wow.
Yeah. He's not the asshole. Somebody actually wrote, LOL, not the asshole. The granddad knows it. He probably half rolls his eyes every time they say they're Italian when he knows he's the last speaker.
Yeah.
You shut this down in the most epic / appropriate way possible. Your girlfriend should be proud, flaunting that her boyfriend is more Italian than any of them.
The Mexican Americans especially have a phrase for this. Is no, whatever, no speak. That their families struggled so much to get to the U.S. and like, no, you need to speak English. You need to be American and to adapt to American culture. That they can't speak Spanish anymore. What's that? What am I looking for?
Trying to think.
But that's super common, and quite frankly, I wish that would be more of a case that happens here in the U.S. now, right? Like, wherever you go, if you've left your country to go to another, you should try to adapt to what the culture is there, while retaining as much as your own as possible, right? Like, don't forget where you came from, but look to assimilate. And
but as an individual, that's your job. That's nobody else's job. It's your job as an individual to continue to nurture your roots. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just like, okay, we're gonna give you the basics. We're gonna give you the basics as your parents, as your grandparents, whatever not. That generation that actually is holding the roots. We're gonna give you the basics, but it takes you to actually understand and dive into your own culture and your own roots in order for you to develop as a person, because you can claim whatever you want whenever you want to, But the fact remains that me being Panamanian, I have a daughter. So if she chooses not to dive into her culture as part Panamanian, that's not on me. Because I claim Panama 24/7. I can sit here and talk in Spanish halfway through this conversation, no problem. This is an easy transition for me because I always stay like in touch with my roots so that I don't lose that essence. See what I'm saying? It's not like poetic. He sits down there, he want to claim Puerto Rican, but boy can barely speak Spanish.
Bullshit.
Just
Holy shit. Oh my God. When I see you in Florida, oh my God, I'm gonna rip your ass, bro.
Whoa, no, hold on, no diddy. Stop.
Pause.
Let me tell you about the time that we went to a Spanish place and then made fun of him for being from Puerto Rico.
Bro, I'll tell y'all after. It's stupid, but that's good to know though. Yeah, you're not the asshole. We all agree. It's and hold on. And however, come on. Okay, so yeah, you're not the asshole. You're right. You did it great. That's phenomenal. But we're gonna end it right here. Thank you guys for being with us. I am Poetic. This is Fishbeck. This is Martin. We are chilling here. Make sure you subscribe. Hit up our channel, Spotify, YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram. We are going to work on it. It's been crazy. We've had so many technical difficulties, but we're still here. But
We're working on that. We're working on that.
Here, chilling with us. Let us know what you guys think about this. And yeah, let us know what's up.
Fish, it was very, very amazing to have you in the podcast today. Hopefully we see you more often in the podcast.
Oh yeah.
This has been your boy, Mr. M2J, Mr. Poetic, and our special guest, Mr. Fishbeck. This has been another episode of Latino So Filter, guys. Until the próxima. Hasta luego, mi gente.
Nos vemos.